Podcast. Happy Podcast Day. We have 2 special guests today. Super excited.
You've already seen one. You've seen, remember Daniel Ross?
He's not actually a guest. He's our guest host.
Guest host?
Yes, you are.
Wow.
We're like Kathy and... Not Kathy. We're like Kelly Ripa over here.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with, Kathy Lee Gifford and Hoda.
No, we're not that old. Well, I'm almost there. But, anyway, big guest today. We have Mr. Levon Sands.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm here.
And
say that again. I like her accent.
Yes, straight from the Bahamas.
Oh.
Yes.
Just put me on a beach now and let him talk in the background.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. Just sit here the whole time like this.
Yes.
Tell everyone why he is here and and Daniel, and you too, join in. We're just going to have a group effort.
Well, I do have a question to start off with. How do you guys know each other?
Yeah.
This is my brother.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I can tell.
We just have different.
I'm a little older.
Right.
And,
different dads.
But I just didn't stay out in the sun as much as he did.
He's got a bikini tan.
I've been on the track my whole life, so
That's awesome.
he was always inside, working.
Yeah. Funny story though. Levon's family, Levon and his wife owned the Snow Biz.
Yes.
Over by McAllister's.
Yes.
And so, you guys remember my story from last time. All the, hundreds of things I've done. So I take my daughter there pretty frequently to get Snow Biz, and Larissa's Down syndrome. She's 15, but she's gonna argue and say she's 16.
Okay.
And so I was there one day, and the shaver went out, and they were like, "Hey, this guy that does the repair work is no longer in business."
Right.
At this time, and it was your mother-in-law was telling me the story, and I didn't really know them yet, and so I was like, "Oh, hey, I can fix it." I mean, I wasn't sure, but
Because he can do everything. He's had like 75 jobs.
That's right. That's right. The 75 jobs.
Yes.
right. So I ended up fixing the eye shaver, and we became friends. And
magic.
So the thing is that I didn't meet him. They would come home every day and talk about this gifted person they met. Who is this Daniel?
I like how you say my name. Say it again.
Daniel.
I learned a new word this month.
Oh, I don't do it.
What is it?
I'm gonna mess it up, but it's your father-in-law taught me, and this is a very respected word. This is if you really somebody's very, very special to you, and you say, "Boy."
No, it's boy.
Boy.
Boy, how do you
spell that?
B-E-Y.
B-E-Y.
Okay.
Boy.
Boy.
B.
You my boy?
Yeah.
You would say, did
No,
I do
no,
it
no.
right? Oh, man.
No, give
That's B-O-I.
Give me a reference.
Boy is like a period. It's like,
Oh.
yeah, it's like full stop,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could use it many different ways.
No, Mr. Greg told me that was if you only use that if you really like somebody.
Well, that too. I mean,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. You could use it many different ways, so.
Okay.
What do you say when you don't like somebody?
You don't want to go there.
Okay.
Well, I call people hoochie mamas if I like them. I'm like, hey, hoochie mama.
What?
Yeah, that's what I do. Do I not?
Yes, you do.
Everybody-
She has a lot of
Not
pet
boys,
names.
but yeah, for the most part, all girls, if I like them, they take. Sometimes they're like, "What?" I'm like, "I mean,
Yeah.
I like you. That's
Right.
good. It's a good thing." So yeah.
I thought hoochie wasn't a good thing.
Well, I know, but to me,
Not
so that's why
typically.
sometimes it does offend people.
Just
but
in Amy's world.
that's in Amy's world.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing to say. So yeah,
Yeah.
I get
Okay,
that. I
then.
get it. So y'all, that's how you guys met.
Yeah.
And how many years ago was that?
What?
4 or 5.
Wow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so, do you have children?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Three boys.
Oh gosh, yeah. I know what that's like. So do you, Amy?
And apparently they go to Carrie Woods.
Yeah.
Because
Carrie
the
Woods and
principal
Pitt.
is a very big fan of yours, Karen.
yeah.
We were sorority sisters together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, she knows everybody.
Well,
They love when I
she
come
saw that he was going to be on the podcast, and she sang your praises.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you must be really nice.
He seems nice.
I know.
I like. Okay, so I don't know if have we said this yet? I know we've posted about it, but he is an Olympic medalist.
Yes.
You won in 2008 in Beijing, bronze medal in long jump, right?
Triple jump.
Triple jump. What's
I got it messed
different?
up. It was
What
mine.
is a triple jump?
The opposite of what she did on the camera. yesterday.
Yeah, right. Those little
Don't hate over here, boy.
boy.
You look like you was about to take off and fly.
I know, I did it, but the video ended. The battery went out.
Yeah. But triple jump is the hop, skip, and the jump.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And a
you-
long jump. What's the difference
Long
between
jump, you're just running and hitting the board and jumping.
and jump? Okay.
So we jump from about 42 meters away from the pit.
Okay.
So you have to hop in one leg, then skip to the next leg, then jump.
I watched your video. It's quite impressive. Your legs look like they're
Long
20
legs.
feet long. Yeah. It's
These are the legs I
amazing.
used to get teased of.
Oh, because they were so long and
Yeah,
skinny.
Daddy long leg.
Daddy long legs. I love it.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been to 4 Olympics,
That's awesome.
and I'm
So-
still preparing for my 5th.
are you?
You already into 4 and you're going on number 5?
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I
And-
plan to retire next
I
year.
mean, we have a
Okay,
lot
so
in
this
common.
is the last.
This is the last one.
This feels like a dumb question, but where are the Summer Olympics being held this
Next year?
Yes.
Tokyo.
Tokyo. Oh, that's awesome.
You can imagine
How many other athletes have done 5 Olympics? Are you?
I don't know much triple jumpers.
No.
There's a few sprinters might have. Yeah, I know a few people. Like I have a friend who runs the 400. He's done 4 or 5.
Wow. So what? How old were you? Was your first one?
I was 24.
Okay.
24.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So, but when I went to my first Olympics, I was already number 3 in the world.
That's insane.
I was a junior at Auburn.
Oh.
So as a junior at Auburn, I had won my first world medal. I was number 3 in the world, 2003. I won a bronze medal in Paris World Championship. Yeah, and I was only at 21, 22.
And you still hold records in the Bahamas, right? I mean, from in Auburn.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And Auburn.
Auburn.
I like how you say that, Auburn.
Yeah.
So you must like Auburn because you landed
Love
back
it.
here.
I love it. Yeah,
Okay.
I never left. I came here in 2003 and never left.
Okay, that's great. I love stories like that.
Yeah.
How did you get like? I mean, that's the triple jump. Were you track at first, and then that
Yes.
just kind of niched
I
out to that?
I actually was pretty good in elementary school in the Bahamas, and then I got a scholarship offer to a high school in the Bahamas. But when I got there, I realized that I wasn't the best anymore, and so it's a true story. So they wanted to take my scholarship away. This is after my first year. So they want to take my scholarship away because some of the parents were complaining that their kids weren't on scholarship and they were faster than me.
Oh.
And so in the 8th grade, I was looking all over the town, looking for someone to coach me, and couldn't find a coach. And so happened that my coach who was here at Auburn, he was at a high school in the Bahamas, and he decided to take me on, but to coach me for jumps.
Okay.
You
He
know,
knew those legs could do something.
Right,
He's like, so you
so-
started training for jumps.
Right. So
in high
I
school.
was still running the 200 and 400.
Okay.
But I wasn't doing as well as I was doing when I was in elementary school. And so they wanted to take my scholarship away. And I never forget the day when the PE teacher told me, and I cried.
I bet.
But I went to the car and I was falling.
Aww.
So I was really hurt about it. And then, so after that summer, my father was looking for a coach for me and he couldn't find a coach. And so he finally approached Henry Road, and he decided to coach me, but for the jumps. And so we started doing triple jump, and for the very first time I did triple jump in the 8th grade, I went 44 feet. And so everybody was like, yo, he jumped so far. I didn't know how far.
And
I was.
right.
But when now I coach kids and I realize how far that really was.
Wow.
For a 13-year-old,
Yeah.
it's a pretty big jump. And since then I've been a triple jumper and long jumper.
And that's where you got your nickname.
Yeah, Superman.
Superman.
Superman saying.
I like it.
Saw that.
I like it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I went to the Caribbean Championships, and was my first international competition. It was in 1997, and I won the gold. I won
that's
the only
awesome.
gold for the country in the triple jump.
That's awesome.
So
You've
ever
had
since
a dream and a mission since you were in elementary school.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's amazing. I love stories like that. I think there's still people trying to find out who they are at our age or whatever. you
Hey,
know?
I
Just don't
found
even
out who
know.
I am.
You have multiple personalities.
I did.
You gotta decide which one you're going with for the day.
I have a question though. This is so because you're going to be in the Olympic the next summer, right? Next summer.
Plan to, yes.
You plan to. Are you training every day for that now? Is that something that you? Yeah.
I train every day. I actually was doing a few meets this year, but I sustained a minor injury.
Oh no.
So I found out that I had minor tears in my left knee. So I've been rehabbing that.
Where do you train?
At Auburn.
Okay, Auburn University. Are you still close with your coach that kind of helped you out? That was from Auburn, or
No.
no?
Yeah, we
Well, that was awkward.
Well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah,
it was
no,
gonna be awkward.
You know, I had a really bad injury
Uh-huh.
back in 2012 Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah.
London.
In London Olympics. So after Beijing, I was one of the favorite to win London, and I had a really bad injury on my fourth jump in the finals.
Oh no.
Ruptured my patella tendon.
Oh gosh, that sounds painful.
It
Which
was-
knee?
Is that the one that
right.
you're saying
Right
is a
one.
vid? There's a video.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can watch
Oh.
this.
Right
And
knee.
his kneecap goes up into his
La,
thigh.
la, 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 la.
Oh gosh, right there on TV.
Yes.
Oh
The
gosh,
whole world.
the whole world to
The whole
see.
world saw it. Yeah.
Were you crying?
No.
It's a bit tougher now than the eighth grade.
I was really upset though. I was really upset because I knew, like, I felt like I was going to get the gold.
Was
medal.
it during the competition or was
During
it
competition.
before? Oh.
This was in the finals. This was in the finals.
That's heartbreaking.
And the day before, I took one jump to make the finals, so I knew I was in great shape.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Ready to go.
Yep.
Oh,
And,
that is hard.
I came on my when we started the finals. I had my first jump was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 56 something. You know, so I was like, okay, you know, I'm ready.
That's insane.
You know, the second jump I think I had fouled, and then my third jump, I came out the pit and I knew something was wrong.
Oh no, you felt
So
it?
I felt like I had torn something on the third one because my knee was really, you know, was like inflamed and, you know,
Yeah.
very painful.
Uh-huh.
And so I didn't say anything to my coach.
Mm-hmm.
And so I normally travel with a spoon because I learned this technique from a masseuse
Mm-hmm.
where you would, like, especially like with tendons and stuff, like you would scrape it. You scrape the tendons.
Scrape
'Cause
it?
you know, it's no
With a
really,
spoon.
it's no blood flow in that area.
Okay.
Ah.
So this is a European thing. So
Okay.
I was taught how to scrape, so to get the
To
blood
help
flowing.
the okay.
Yeah, so I went back and I sat down and got my spoon out, and I started scraping, and then it eased up a little bit.
Hmm.
And so on my fourth jump, I told myself, I was like, Lord,
This is
This is it. And I said, this is gonna be the biggest hopping step of my life. And man, I hold my face on my first jump, and I was just like, I was flying.
Yeah.
And I was just floating on my step, and I could see the pit coming. And when I planted,
Ooh.
it just blew out.
Oh, I can just like, oh, it gives me the
I know
heebie-jeebies.
it does. It does. How heartbreaking
And
though.
before,
Yeah.
the thing is, before that, I said, you know what? I didn't tell my coach anything, and I said, you know what? My leg have to break today.
Right. Chop it off. I'm going. I'm doing it.
Wow.
I said,
Wow.
this is the Olympics. You know?
Yeah, you got
And
to go.
I trained 4 years
Yeah.
for this, leading
Yeah.
up to this, and I had to go. And on my fourth jump, I just heard, it felt like I slipped
Mm-hmm.
at first, but I could feel the tendon slipping off the bone. And it was like, even though there was a lot of noise in the stadium,
Yeah, could you hear it?
I heard the tendon
Pop.
break.
Yeah.
It was like, bow,
Oh my gosh.
like a gunshot.
Yeah. That's
That
incredible.
is incredible.
I lay there and I didn't get the jump off, and it's amazing because I didn't even jump. I
Yeah.
fell into the pit.
Right.
And the thing about it, when I watched the jump, I never stepped that far before in my life. So it was like, if I had gotten that jump off, I probably would have broken the world record. That's how I think about it.
Oh, that has to give you a little bit of fire to keep going, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to recover from the knee
2
injury?
years.
How many?
2.
Years.
Yeah, and that's a crazy story too.
It took me 2 years, and
Did you have to have surgeries?
immediate?
Yeah,
Just one
immediate.
surgery, but I had to do immediate surgery that morning. The next
In
morning.
London?
Yep. And I came back and I did my rehab with Steve Kaiser, and I had to do a lot of PRP treatments with my doctor, Hank Sloan, who was in Atlanta, in Cumming, Georgia. So like maybe twice a month I was going to him and I was doing PRP injections,
Ouch.
and I was doing rehab every day for almost 2 years.
2 years. And now you're feeling strong
Yeah.
and you're ready to go to Tokyo.
Well,
No, in a year.
yeah, I'll be ready.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
One thing I know how to do is fight, you know, and
Yeah.
I mean, injured or not, I would still go and compete, you know, to represent my country.
Absolutely, that's awesome. Right here in Auburn, Alabama,
What's
I
crazy
love it.
is knowing more of the details. You know,
Yeah.
I've known Levon for a while, and I get to hear different snippets
Of it each
his
time.
story. And there's days when I'm having a bad day, and I'm telling you, I think about you, and it's like it inspires me to
Right.
fight in bad days, because you were not only, you know, when you had that injury, you had a lot of disappointments with people. You had
Right.
a lot of disappointments and other stories, and when you
Yeah,
know.
I didn't even touch on that stuff. Yeah, it's
being
emotional.
dropped by your country,
Yeah,
feeling the desire that you're going to come back, but not having the support that you need.
yeah.
Danielle driving you in the
Yeah.
back of the SUV, had to load him in the back of the SUV because he couldn't fit in the seat with his injury,
Yeah.
in the in the front seat. So she'd have to load him in the hatchback.
You had to lift my leg and sit. I had to sit and take up the seats in the back.
Because you
of the
couldn't
SUV.
bend your knee.
Couldn't
Like you
bend.
couldn't bend your legs. So
For
it's
months.
straight out.
For
Oh.
months. You know, and my legs are long.
Yeah.
So
How tall are you?
6'3".
You're 6'3" and all
My
legs,
my
pretty much. Your legs
probably
are
6 foot.
Yeah, I was gonna say right. You're all leg, exactly.
Yeah, but it was a lot I had to go through, and I don't really like to talk because it gets so emotional.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I dedicated my life to my country, and I just felt like I could have had some more support.
Yes.
So people always tend to want to just write you off and be like, oh, he's finished.
Yeah.
And not support you and try to help motivate you to get back.
Right.
Because, you know, I mean, from the injury happened, I told myself I was coming back.
Right. Of
But
course.
during the time, I mean, I would hear, oh, he's finished.
Right.
There's no way. I don't know what he's trying to come back for. I mean,
But it's a scary.
It could be more fuel for your fire, or but
It's a
I,
scary
was.
situation too.
Absolutely.
I mean, I could see it from the from the authority side too, man. You know, you blow your knee out.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's done, right?
right.
Right.
Seemingly so.
And,
Right.
You know, and you know, to hear like stuff like the doctor tell me, you know, I could have died. You know, it could have hit my
Oh
head
my
on the
gosh.
track.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of ways that could have went. You know, because when I think about it, I was like, wow, that's true. Because when I look at the video,
I was about to ask you that. Did you
it
watch
took
it?
me a while.
Yeah, I bet.
It took me about almost 2 years to watch the video.
Really?
Ah.
Yeah, because every time I look, I would turn my head.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, you were there, so you know what happened and how it
Yeah.
sounded and what it felt. So I'm
Yeah.
sure watching it made you relive that immediately, and that was probably really hard.
It was very tough. But
Yeah.
the toughest part about it was coming back and my coach and everybody, like not everybody, but people giving up on me and not believing in that I could come back. You know, that was the hardest part.
I think that
So-
speaks to kind of the political side of things, that there's always a political type of atmosphere in just about anything.
That killed me the most. You know,
I bet.
the injury was fine. I could get through injuries.
Right.
But coming back and, you know, my agent not even like calling me and like find out how I was doing. That's the part was killing me.
I bet.
And then, you know, the first year back, my coach just decided to leave without even telling me. Like he just part ways. And so I was there 2015. I was coming back, and I wanted to talk to him and be like, hey, what we doing? And he said he was gonna call me, and I never forget. He never called. And so I was left. I said, you know what? I'll just do it on my own.
Yeah.
So from 2015, I coached myself back to Rio.
And you have the resources here, at least, to train, right? At Auburn
Yeah.
University, and
Yeah.
so at least you
it's-
had that. But
I have that, but I was always mentally strong and self motivated, and just the fact that this person that I've been with all these years, we've won
right,
all the major
Right.
medals from NCAA straight up, not have your back, that's
that's
how I felt.
crazy.
And so, and I just felt like he could have just tell me why or whatever.
At
But
least
it was
have-
nothing. There was no conversation. There was no conversation. So I was just left there alone. I felt
Yeah.
so alone, and I had to go through it by myself, train myself.
So explain that. How do you train yourself?
Oh man.
Gotta dig deep, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
seeing the group that I was training with at the same track at the same time, but I'm here and they over there with my coach that I've been with for 12 years. It was difficult.
That is heartbreaking. Yeah, that has got to be. I mean, not only the physical injury, but the mental and the emotional hurt, and
that was-
having to heal from all of that too, and
yeah,
find the
that was-
motivation to keep going.
Yep.
Well-
And then you would constantly hear, oh, when he's finished.
Right.
constantly, over and over. I would hear this. There's no way he can't jump far again. So when everybody decided to leave, I started to focus, and I had a lot of resentment built up in my heart, and I realized I couldn't move past that unless I forgive.
Oh yeah.
So when I finally forgive everybody and let it go, and then things started to move forward. I started to jump better, and this without a coach. And then I'll never forget that year, 2015. My own country didn't want me to go to the Pan Am Games, even though I had qualified. Right, so I fought my way on this Pan Am teams, which was in Canada, Toronto, in 2015. And at the last second, I was actually cleaning the house, and at the last second, I had to make a lot of calls all over. I mean, it was ridiculous how I had to fight. After all I have done.
Right, and you proved yourself by
I proved myself.
qualifying too.
Right.
So
and I qualified, but they wanted to take the younger guy. And the thing is, they could have taken both of us, but they somehow, I guess when you're successful so much, people get so tired of hearing your name, and that's how I felt about it.
wow.
That's how I really felt, because I've been so consistent for so many years, from 1997 all the way up to 2012. My name rings off. Devon Sines did this. Devon Sines did
Right.
it. Okay, he was second in Europe.
Right.
My name was always called off. So I guess they were trying to transition me out after the injury, pretty much.
They thought you'd run its course,
But
right?
no,
Right.
he
But
wasn't
no, he's
having it.
back.
Yeah.
right.
And so I went to.
Did you go to Canada?
I went to Canada.
And did you place?
Silver.
I love it.
And that's when I cried.
So did they all
That's
tuck
right.
their tails
That's-
and say anything to
They
you?
couldn't say
or-
nothing.
Ah,
I never forget. I'll show you all the video when we finish. And I came out and World Championships was that year too. And so nobody thought I could have made it back to World Champs. And so I hit the jump that I jumped. It was a qualifying jump for Worlds and then Olympics. I qualified for both the Worlds and Olympics.
Wow. So
So-
what's the difference between? I mean, obviously the Olympics have been around for a very, very long time, and it's huge. It's kind of like what the biggest thing that everybody thinks of when it comes to athleticism.
Yeah, that's the most
but
prestigious.
What's the right? Okay, so
Yeah.
what's
So
the
it's-
World Championship,
World
that you're
Championship
talking
is,
about?
is second,
Okay.
second level.
And it does
to
all kinds
Olympics.
of athletics. Does it do like sports and stuff too, or
Oh,
is
yeah,
it all the same
it's
thing?
just track. World Championship is just track.
It's just track. Okay.
Yeah, just track. It's
Okay.
not- Olympics is more.
Is all of it.
In the
Yeah.
world though, you can qualify for the Olympics. If if you haven't
year
qualified before.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have. I think they give you like a year
Yeah.
to
Okay.
qualify before the Olympics. And I went and I got the silver medal. I never forget. I like to talk a lot of trash too. So I was, I came with the pit. I was furious.
Yeah.
And I was like, book my ticket.
Right. I
never
got
forget.
the
I'll show you on
silver.
the video. I was like, book my ticket. I was talking about world champs.
Yeah.
Because they didn't believe it was possible, and that's when I really cried.
Yeah.
Because winning that silver medal to me was more than my Olympic medal.
Absolutely.
It's super victory,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, because of what I had to go through, my coach leaving me, and it was just so emotional.
How's your knee now?
It's better than the left.
Probably really strong now. Where do you have to go to qualify for the
You
Olympics?
qualify anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Once you do, these meets,
Okay.
once they sanctioned by the USATF,
Okay.
You can qualify anywhere.
So Daniel was telling me that the person who really believed in you the most was your dad when you were young. Is that?
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
See, that's so
my-
awesome to have a parent that like completely.
That's he's the reason of who I am today.
Yeah.
My dad he's the type of person he spoke things in existence. From I was young, he was a police officer, and I didn't even know, but I was only 5-6 years old, and he saw something in me that I didn't know, and I didn't know.
Right.
that.
Yeah, you couldn't know it
Right.
that
So
age. Yeah.
He would go to the police station, amongst all these officers, and be like, "You see that boy right there? You see my son? He said he gonna be Olympian one day."
Oh, I love
And
that.
I talking about I was only like 6.
You're like, what's an Olympian?
Yeah, I didn't even know. I was doing track and field. I've been in the club and everything, but I didn't know I was going to the Olympics.
Right.
But he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, I guess it was all the jumping over the walls and stuff. Because we had a gate in front of our yard. I used to just one hop.
Oh,
just
that's incredible. That
over.
must have been it. You could have trained the police officers for chasing a criminal. You're like, here, come get me, and you're leaping over fences and stuff. You could be the training.
I wanted to mention that because it is Father's Day weekend.
Oh,
And shout out to all the
Yeah.
good fathers,
Yeah,
the
shout out.
supportive fathers out there, you know?
Yeah.
Levon Sands Senior.
Yes, I met
Yeah.
Mr. Sands 2 years
Yeah.
ago
Yep.
out at Bill Brewer's lake and cabin,
Mm-hmm.
and he's an amazing man. I just listened to him.
Yeah. He's
And
wise.
to hear him tell his stories about believing in you and just how he sees things in a just in such a positive way. I learned so much from him. To this day, there's things that he said that are just still ringing in my ear that I'm chewing on to this day.
Yeah.
And you know, at one particular time as a police officer, were not allowed to carry weapons.
Right. Right.
And he would say that he had made that decision early on that his life was, you know, he was going to do justice. And he was not fearful because he had already settled that within himself, that if something was to happen, it was meant to be. And so he would go up to a gang member, and the gang member would have
Weapons,
a gun
right?
and have it aimed at his head. And he would just go up to him and say, "Son, you're going to give that to me right now." And he'd put his hand out. Out of respect, and he would hand him the gun.
Wow.
And so, I don't know. And so just the father-son relationship that these guys have,
Yeah.
and the
mean-
belief that he had in Levon,
Yeah.
that's powerful.
That is
That's
powerful.
awesome.
powerful.
Does he
mean-
live here, or is he back?
Bahamas.
He's back home. How often do you get to go home and see
Maybe
everybody?
Twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could see him
More.
And he's
Yeah.
been suffering with some sickness,
gout
and it's been
and
really painful.
heart disease and stuff like that. But what he have taught me was, is so amazing. I mean, he helped me through so much. I mean, I think I got my fighting ability from watching karate movies.
Oh, really? Like
Yeah,
Karate Kid?
No, not even Karate Kid. These like the old black and white karate
Oh, wow.
movies where you always have a kid that gets beat up in the beginning of the movie, and then he goes and trains.
Come back.
And then he just come back every time. So
I love
I
that.
think that's where I get that fighting spirit. Because he was a black belt too.
Oh, wow.
I probably didn't know that. He was a black belt, and so we started off doing karate at first, and so we used to watch a lot of film, a lot of karate film, and I think that's where I got my motivation from.
That's
This fight I got, because, I mean, what y'all see now is so totally different from
really.
the competition.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet.
I mean,
I bet you're like,
I'd be
Serious,
insane. Like,
Tell
yes.
me about when you're up on the runway.
and you talk trash.
When you're
Do
practicing.
you like, I'm going to kick your ass.
I actually talk a lot of trash, and some people like it. Some people love it.
I do.
It
like
motivates them, doesn't it? Yeah, and they hear
a lot
it.
of people
Yeah.
be motivated by it, and then again, you have the ones who get scared.
Yeah.
So, but if you get scared, that means
You're
my
not
job
supposed
is
to
done.
be there, right? Yeah. If you're scared about what you're
So
going to do.
that's the type of fear that my dad taught me. Like when you step on the track, you have so much confidence.
Yeah.
Like people
Like you
see
own
you
the
and they're
place.
scared.
Yeah.
So when I step on the track, I have this walk and this swag. Like, oh, he ain't playing today.
I'm bringing
And I would
it.
let them know too. I'd be like, hey, I hope you all know y'all fighting for second and third today. I tell them that.
Yeah, because I got
walk
first.
with so much confidence. Like,
Yeah.
I was telling Danielle, so in the back, like at Olympics, everybody, all uptight and getting ready, and I be in the back, and I doing my strides, and I just blowing, and then and I don't say track, people shout out track when they want you to move.
Okay.
If you in the way, I'll run you over.
I ain't saying it.
So when
I
they see
ain't
me,
saying it.
so when they see me start striding, no, they're already run across the
They're
track.
moving.
Everybody runs.
What do you say right before, when you're standing there, right before, I guess just like a gun go off? You know,
Oh, you mean
To get-
before I jump?
right before you jump, and it's
Nah,
quiet in
it's-
your mind, or is it? What are you thinking? Telling yourself? What do
Me,
you?
I love
yes,
crowd.
you love the crowd. You love the.
If the stands is empty, I'm not gonna jump good.
Okay.
So
you
I look
use
in the
that.
crowd. Wherever I go, I learn how to say, "Let's go."
Okay. In whatever language you're in,
Whatever
whatever
language.
country.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
once I
That's
do that-
cool. How do you say it in
So-
Chinese? Do you
I can't
remember? Can't
I
remember?
learned how to say it though.
Yeah.
I did say it because I've been to China a few times and I learned how to say it, but I can't remember.
Can't remember. It's probably hard.
But everywhere I went, I learned how to say it and I write it down.
I love
study
that.
it.
That's cool.
So when I look in the stands, they don't expect it.
Right, and you holler it out.
I go like this, and it's quiet before you go, and I said, "Let's go."
Yeah, that's awesome. I love
And then
that.
I say, "Ben acá."
Well, tell us
Speaking
about.
of that, don't
Yeah.
you train other like younger? I mean, is that a rumor or is it true?
Oh,
you
no,
you
I
do you train
I do private coaching.
private coaching?
Yeah.
Is that what Sands Pro Athletics
Sands
is?
Pro Athletics
Okay.
Club.
Sands Club.
Athletics Club.
Are we on batteries? How are we on batteries?
We have 58%.
Oh, good. We're good. We're good.
Yeah,
So we're
yes.
we're representing
I
the
see.
swag today.
Yep.
Swagwear.
So zero excuses,
Yeah.
only results. So
love
I
it.
have I started the club about 2 years ago.
Okay.
I started off with one kid. I wasn't ready to do it,
Okay.
but I started off coaching this one kid who was paralyzed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got.
So how did
You don't start off small
gotta
here.
shoot
Right.
this.
That's quite a challenge.
Pages, because he's got footage of this, and
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Right.
Okay.
So
Amazing.
his name is Ayan Merchant.
Okay.
His dad's Steve Merchant. They own Intrigue Jewelers in the mall.
I know them.
I know you know.
I
them.
do.
Of course you
I
do.
know.
She knows everybody.
Real estate.
Everybody know, yeah.
I know. Yes. Good.
I know you know them very well. But yeah, I started off with their son. I've known them a long time since I've been in Auburn too. And when he had his GBS situation, and he was paralyzed from the neck down.
Oh, no. What happened?
GBS.
What
is
is
a
G-
disease?
Oh.
It attacks the nervous
Is
system.
it Guillain-Barre? Okay.
And
And
so-
some people recover from that. Did he ever?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
So
I'm sorry. I'll
I
stop
had to-
interrupting. How about I just let you tell the
a lot of
story?
people- some people don't recover from it.
Right.
But he just, well, his mom knew I fought my way from my injury
Mm-hmm.
and came back strong. And so she so happened to ask me if I could coach him or train him to get stronger or whatever. And to be honest, I didn't know what I was going to do with him because he walked, the way
Mm-hmm.
he walked and everything was kind of funny. I didn't know if I could run him
Right.
because I didn't want him to twist his ankle or break his
Right.
ankle or something, you know. So, but I took the leap of faith
Uh-huh.
and I started with him. Even though I wasn't ready,
You dove right in.
yeah. And started coaching him, and man, after a few months, he started getting ripped and cut. And
Yeah. How old was he?
he was 14.
14
when I
at the
started
time.
coaching
And he
him.
was
Yeah, 14,
paralyzed from the neck down to begin with.
Yeah.
And with your
So-
help,
So
he went
yeah,
from,
So he started recovering,
uh-huh.
but he still had a
It wasn't quite right. Right.
Yeah. And so I started training him, getting his muscles and everything stronger. I worked on from his ankles all the way up to his knees. I did all his
Wow.
quads and everything. Like I had to break him down. And,
Right.
you know,
One
he
piece
started
at a
getting
time.
stronger. Yeah, he started getting a lot stronger. He started running better. His
Uh-huh.
form got better and everything. Now he's the most popular kid in school.
And he's totally, is he totally recovered? Or is he?
I think he's
Pretty
probably,
close.
Yeah, 95%.
Oh, that's,
probably.
what an amazing story. And so how old is he now? He was 14 when this happened,
He's-
and then,
he's what, 16?
oh wow.
He's about 16.
So in 2
16
years,
now.
you got him up and in shape, and
Yep. And then since that, you know, a lot of people saw a lot of results with him, and I started getting more kids wanting me to coach them, and that's how I started the Sands Pro Athletics Club.
awesome.
And so I was always a person into fashion, so I've always wanted my own clothing line. And so
That's a good
when-
start.
So that's when I
Got
launched
some
my clothing
bling,
line.
which you know I love
it.
bling.
I know.
So believe it or not, that silhouette.
Is that you?
This silhouette was when this is my jump for my bronze medal in the Olympics.
Yes, I love it.
So
That's
you
so
see the little
cool.
tail in the back. I had a little tail.
I see that.
A little like rat tail in the back.
Yeah, rat tail. And all my sons, they have rat tails.
Nice.
They got these long rat tails in the back. So that's like my little family tradition. My dad have a rat tail.
Really?
You saw it?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, my dad have a rat tail. So that's our little family thing.
Wait.
And,
I see it.
Yeah, that's my little family thing. So the wings actually came from my dad too. So he always would say, you know, in every situation that I went through, he would always tell me, he say, son, don't worry. He say, you're gonna rise up like the ashes. You're gonna rise up out of the ashes like a phoenix.
I love that.
So the wings,
Phoenix wings.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's what
Oh,
it symbolizes.
so where do you train? Do you have a website people can sign? They just call you,
Sands
like
Pro
how?
Athletics, www.sandsproathletics
Okay.
club or sandsproathletics.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you train all ages, or what do
All
you?
ages.
All ages, and in all different types of
Different sports.
sports or
Yeah, 'cause I have a
whatnot,
few
whatever.
kids, they run football. I
Okay.
Football, track,
Track.
Yeah, because I would focus on speed, strength conditioning and speed. Yeah, I had one kid from Dadeville. They come from all over too. I have
I
kids
bet.
from Atlanta, from LaGrange,
Wow,
from Columbus,
that's cool.
from Dadeville.
So how do you fit in your own training when you're doing this too?
Try to train in the morning, train in the evening, train them in the evening.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so I actually have one kid who plays football for Dadeville.
Okay.
He came to me running a 4.6 in the 40 yards dash. And just last week he went to Troy, at the combine at Troy, and he ran 4.44. And he's in the 11th grade.
Nice.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's impressive.
Yeah, so I think I've had a lot of great results.
What I also is you don't train in just the athletics. You also focus on the mindset.
Like
Oh, yeah.
mentoring and
So,
stuff.
talk
Yeah.
a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, I had a few troubled kids that I had to mentor.
Good.
You know, I try to not just focus on the physical part,
Right.
but also the mental part too, because I had to do a lot of that myself. So I understand how the mind work. You know, you have a
Yeah.
strong mind, you have a strong body.
It's a lot about mindset. And that's a hard thing
you'll
for-
be surprised how far your mind could take you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But so that's what I try to do. I help a lot of kids in that aspect, in that way.
That's great. What about your own kids? Are you training 3 little Olympians? How old are they?
Do you have, do
11.
they have tall legs? Are they daddy long
Are they
legs?
daddy long
I
legs?
think Lion have the long legs. Legend is only 5, so he's a little tall for 5. Lion he's almost as tall as Lion. Lion is 7, and then Trey, which is Levine the third, he's 11. He's the bigger football.
Okay, so you have 11,
11, 7, and
7, and 5. Okay.
And Lion is he's like the middle child. To me, I see him doing long jump and stuff because he already went viral already.
Really?
Instagram, triple long jump.
Ooh, I'm going to have to scroll
At
back and
7
look for
years
that
old?
Yeah.
No.
I can show you all the videos.
Well, I'm going viral too.
I bet you.
I can feel
Your
it.
jump
It's
was
going.
amazing.
I know.
Your hair went higher
My
than your
hair
legs.
was just like on fire.
Man, she came out of the bush.
They're crazy.
That's awesome.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah.
What an amazing story. And I know you know a lot more.
He knows a lot
Yeah.
more. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just
Prod him a little bit more,
Yeah.
Daniel. Go
No,
for it.
that's just half of it.
You
That's
know,
just half of the stories.
The stories of like, the year that you took the Vicks vapor,
The
and
inhaler.
it got tested wrong as a stimulant, and so he went all
Vicks
across.
Vapor Rub?
was-
Vixen Hiller.
and then
Wow.
Yeah, so I went to a meet and I went to a meet at Arkansas. And I had you had a test. You know, they do urine tests. And so like 2 weeks later I got a call and said I test positive for a banned substance. So I was like,
Oh, no.
me?
Right.
Test positive. So we was running around trying to figure out, asking them questions like, what was it? Like, what could it be? And my coach was like, Levine, what do you take different from what I give you? So I was like, Coach, I've been taking the same thing you've been giving me all, my whole life.
Right.
And I would never do that. Man. And so the story was that the guy from the Bahamas, he called me, and I guess he gave me the wrong information because he was like, you test positive for a stimulant or for methamphetamine.
Whoa.
So I was, methamphetamine?
Wow, that's
I didn't
serious.
even know what it was.
Right.
I didn't even know what methamphetamine was. And so I looked it up and it said something about crystal meth. And
Yeah.
I was like, crystal meth?
That's serious business
I
right
wouldn't have
there.
no
Why?
teeth, though.
Why not? Exactly. Have you seen those people? Yeah, no.
Right.
Not me.
Yeah, so they put me through this process and it was long, drawn out, and they went ahead and they broadcasted it
Oh,
before I even found out what
no.
it really was.
Yeah.
So they went ahead and the president of the Bahamas at the time went ahead and broadcasted it and said, test
Oh,
positive for muscle.
no.
So that then trickled into a bunch of different things where people were saying that I test positive for steroids.
Right.
And so, it takes weeks before they do the B sample. And so, but when they did the B sample, because at first I honestly didn't know what it was.
Right.
But I remember being sick at the meet and I used to fix inhaler. But I didn't, normally we have to write down our stuff. But I didn't declare it. Because I didn't think, I grew
It's
up
just
using
over the
Vicks inhaler.
counter.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but it's not like a performance enhancement
Right.
type of drug or whatever. So when I it kind of back step, and found out that the Vixen Halo, right? It's because the B sample came back and said lev methamphetamine. Lev methamphetamine.
Okay, so that's a little bit different than methamphetamine. I mean,
Way different.
okay, apparently it sounds
So-
really close.
So
but
they had me looking at my. So I know I took some Tylenol strength, some Tylenol. So they had me looking into the Tylenol and
looking for ingredients
looking,
and that.
looking at ingredients and maybe at the time I was like maybe it's from the Tylenol, but come to find out it wasn't the Tylenol. It was the
The
Vixen Halo.
Vicks. Oh wow, golly.
You took
Yeah,
that
but I
because
was
you were
sick.
sick.
Yeah, I was sick,
And you
but I
were-
didn't write it down because it was just over the counter.
Yeah, you wouldn't think about it.
Yeah, so me and my roommate, who was the president's son,
Oh geez.
yeah, so he was sick, and me and him drove to the gas station, and we bought the Vixen Halo because
So
we had
he could
competition.
vouch for you at least in that
That's what
way,
I thought.
right? Yep.
But that's the
Oh, but he
president's son.
didn't.
So when we had the tribunal, I had him there as a witness, and they didn't allow my witness to come in because I guess he was protecting his son.
Oh no.
So in the tribunal, they, I declared I declared it was the Vixen Halo, and they told me it's like the IAAF, which is the higher body, the international body, they told me I could have gotten a public warning
yeah.
as long as they accept my explanation. So in the tribunal, they said that they accept my explanation, but I should have known better.
Ah.
And so at the time, I had one of the biggest contracts with Adidas.
Oh no.
Oh.
And I was only on that contract. I just graduated from Auburn in 05.
Mm-hmm.
So I was only on the contract for a year. I signed a 4-year deal with Adidas, and in the contract it states even if it's a day suspension,
Wow.
I was going to lose my contract. And so from the tribunal and the way it was going and how they was talking, I already knew I was going to get suspended. So they suspended me based off my experience, saying that I've had a lot of experience, I should have known better, but it was just a simple mistake.
Yeah, anybody
And I
could have
told
made
them, I
that
was like,
mistake.
Look, if you guys suspend me, I'm going to lose my contract.
Right.
I just come out of school, I worked hard for this contract, and they told me 6 months. And it was almost at the 6 months mark already. So they was trying to say they gave me a slap on the wrist.
Oh. Because you'd already served the 6
So,
months.
yeah,
it had
this
already
was at
been
the-
that.
This was at the 5th month
Okay,
since they called.
It went down.
Yes. And so, man, that's when I was suicidal.
Oh no.
No, for real, I was devastated. And because, you know what it is to go, like, I would go home to the Bahamas and you would hear kids, like, talk about, hey, Daddy, is that truly violence on steroids? They would just keep talking. And then the news would keep on saying, buying substance. No one would explain that it was only just a Vixen Halo.
Wow. That's heartbreaking.
Because, people want to sell story.
Yeah, sure.
And
Gossip.
so you got labeled.
Yeah.
Even after it was declared, it was still Levant Sands.
Test positive for
Test-
buying
yeah,
substance.
right.
And then you would hear people say, oh, I always knew he was on drugs.
Jeez. Yeah.
Just
People
because I
act
was
like
so
they know
consistent,
you.
like I
Yeah,
said
because
earlier.
you're successful and people
I was
don't want
successful
that.
I was 15
yeah.
years old, and people like, oh, he had to been on something, just
Oh, of
because
course.
I had one mistake.
Right.
And so I had to live with that for the rest of my life. It's on the record, but it's when you look up what's in the Vixen Halo, the lev methamphetamine is the word right on it. Yeah, so that's how I knew
It
that's
seems
what it was.
like they should have just been like, oh, okay. I mean, it's
That's
just
what I
very
thought, but see,
self-explanatory.
They
I
made
mean,
so
but
much mistakes. They made so much mistakes that I should have sued.
yeah, it
'Cause it
sounds
was
a little
defamation of
defamation.
character.
Yeah.
So they made so many mistakes in the beginning, so they had to go ahead and make it look like they.
Oh yeah. Then
That
they
was
had to
in
make it look like
2005, and then the
2006.
2008 you won the
Yes,
bronze.
Yeah.
I was on the verge of giving up then.
Yeah.
I was upset. I was suicidal. I was everything. I was, I didn't know how I was gonna recover. And then 2 years later, because I went after my suspension, I had no contract.
That's a big contract too.
I signed. Guess what? And I signed with. Nobody wanted to give me a deal after my suspension. And
There's a
I
lot.
forget my new agent. He finally got me a deal with Mizuno, and I signed.
Mizuno.
I signed with $5,000 a year. I had to take it because I had no choice.
That's it.
So I was
Right.
trying to live up $5,000.
Wow. No, that's impossible.
Yeah, so that's
But
Well,
he's
you
not,
sound-
he's
you
not
were-
a quitter.
you-
No,
He started cleaning houses, cleaning new construction,
I had to do what I
pressure
had to do.
washing.
I had to do what I do, and then
Well,
my parents knew that I still had a dream, so they had to support me the best they could at
Yeah.
the time, and so, I could have possibly got a 9-to-5 job or whatever, but I still had this dream of winning a medal at the Olympics, and so, whilst everybody backed up, that was the first time everybody gave up on me, and I just continued pushing myself. 2007, I came back and I had a terrible year because I trained so hard. I wanted it so bad, and it just wasn't happening because I wasn't relaxed. I was just trying to kill it.
Trying too hard, I
Yeah, I was
guess.
training too hard, and I just wanted it too
Yeah.
bad because of what I've been through.
You lost focus on
Yeah.
some things.
And so, believe it or not, in 2008, my son was born in January 2008. And so that's when I really had to refocus because I now have somebody, a mouth to feed. So January 2008, it was when Trey was born. My son was born, and that's the same year of Olympics.
Yeah.
So this year, this the year when I started really refocusing, try to get all
You
that
had a
negative thing.
different
So-
motivation
yeah, I had
now.
a different motivation.
Yeah.
And so,
It was a very positive motivation. It wasn't a negative type of motivation, or
Right.
it wasn't something hard that you went through or sad that you went through that was motivating you. It was something happy that happened to you that was
Yep.
motivating you. Changes perspective.
it did. And then, so there was an article came out because I went to, like I said, I did 2007 World Champs in Osaka. I didn't make the finals. And I'm coming from making finals and winning
Just
medals.
easy, right?
And I didn't make the finals that summer. 2008 indoor, in March. I went to the indoor championship in March. Didn't make the finals again.
Oh no.
And so at that time, an article came out, and this guy wrote in the newspaper in the Bahamas saying that this is what he said. He said, since Levan Superman Sands drug suspension, said he's been on a downward spiral. And he said, it seems like it's the end for Superman.
Oh no.
Fighting words right there.
I was like, what? Man, that brought tears to my ear.
I bet.
I'll never forget that night. I brought so much tears to my eyes because I was like, I've been through so much, and people seeing me. This been 2 years ago, and you still want to say drug suspension.
Right.
So
Give
that's
me
what
a
really tear
break.
me up.
Yeah.
Because you see me trying to make a comeback. Why would you
Right.
bring that back up? And that's a soft spot for me. That was.
It was just for the attention. That's
Yeah,
all
I
it
know
was, and it's
he tried to
sad.
trying to sell his paper.
And it's sad that it has to come at the expense of you. It's not
And the
not
thing is, by
fair.
that time, everybody knew the story. So
right.
why are you still trying to say
Drag
drug
it back out.
suspension? You're trying to refresh it. And so that hurt me the most. Hurt me really bad. And then I used that as motivation, and I say, the end of Superman. Okay, watch. And I started training. The training started going well. And I was going to meets. I was first and second. And I knew I was getting back to form. And then I went to the Olympics, not as the favorite.
Right.
I wasn't the favorite at the Olympic Games. They didn't even call my name.
Really?
And, I wasn't the favorite because everybody, people look at the
The
previous year,
right.
like the year before or 2 years prior. They'd be like, oh, he's not a contender, And so after the Olympics, I pulled off a bronze medal. And I was right back up. And I had to renegotiate my contract with Mizuno and all that stuff.
Which you were happily to do.
Oh, yes. Yes, 'cause it was a struggle. It was
Yeah.
Random question: what's it like standing on the podium? I mean,
Oh,
I think
man.
that would be just like
Crowning
Yeah,
moment.
like a
right.
rock star or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Did you also learn how to say thank you in Chinese?
Yeah, I couldn't go nowhere in China.
I bet. Well, I mean, look how tall you are. You look, stick
Yeah.
out a little bit, I think.
And I never forget. I was walking with my father, and he was so excited. I never saw him cry, but that's the first time I ever saw tears come to his eyes. He's so excited about this medal, and they would talk about the story and what I've been through and what it took to get there. And he always tell me, I knew you could do it. and we was walking, and amongst the crowd, and one person might have recognized, oh, Devon Sands, right? and one person started with an autograph, and my daddy said, yeah, see, this Olympic medalist, right?
My son. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, I got this big crowds coming around me, and I can't. I said, Daddy, looking over there, and looking at me like, you got it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm crowded with all these people. I mean, like thousands of people.
Wow. That's
And
great.
he's just sitting over there laughing.
No, he's
That's
proud,
awesome.
proud,
He's
proud,
probably
proud.
thinking
Where do you-
back when you were
yeah,
5 years
when you were
old.
5.
and
Yeah,
filling
leaping
in
fences.
His office, filling
Yeah.
officers. That's
Yeah.
an Olympian right there.
There it
Yep.
is. Came
Where do
full
you keep
circle.
it? In a special
Yeah, where do you keep the
place?
medal?
Well, I have it upstairs in the man cave. I have it actually, in a safe spot.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Is it
Got on
heavy?
display.
I have
A lot of
no.
times, yeah, they say I should have brought it.
Yeah, you should.
That would have been
I
cool.
wasn't thinking about it. I should have brought it, but it's really heavy and I have like a jewel on it.
Oh, cool.
A jewel
Yes.
on it.
Yeah, like I forget what they call it in China. It's like the special jewel.
Ah.
I forget what they call it, but I guess keep it in a safe spot for me to grab it anytime because when I go to speak to kids,
I'm sure they'd love to see
Yeah.
that. That's so cool.
Yeah,
I'm
they
a
love
kid
it.
and I want to see
Right.
it.
The funniest thing that happened to me though with the Olympic medal from '08 was I went to I think it was Kerry Woods, and I would let the kids wear the medal and put it on their neck, and one of the kids said, he said, "Oh, this medal, this from 2008. That's a long time ago."
They probably weren't even born yet. That's funny.
Man, I laugh.
Kids make you feel old.
I know, right?
sometimes.
That's like-
Yeah. 2008 doesn't
But
seem that
it's
long
like,
ago.
How many people have it though?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know
How many
anybody.
other
I
people
don't
have you
know.
met with one of these?
Yeah.
Are we
But
okay
that
on
was
the
funny,
battery? Okay. Just asking.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
Thank you for
no
sharing that
problem.
one.
We'll be
Yeah.
cheering you on big
I used to
time.
tell a story,
You're getting stronger about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot. I went through so much.
So now you are training other people, snow biz, but you're not doing snow biz. Why do I
Well,
think you're letting other people do that?
Well, my wife, she runs that.
She
so
runs
it's-
that?
Yeah.
She got under control?
She got
He used to go and sweep.
Yeah, see, I'm not like a sit down behind the desk. Or
Yeah, me
inside,
either. I have issues with that.
Yeah, I gotta be outside, so
Yeah.
I prefer to do the yard and do
Yeah.
hard stuff like that, lifting stuff. Yeah, because that's how I grew up. I used to be my daddy's house in the yard and stuff. So I'm not like an indoor kind of person.
Right.
So she be trying to get me to work snow biz. I'd be like,
I'm busy.
it's not for me.
I'm
Get on the
busy.
register. Yeah. And the thing about it, I have an accent too, so, and I can't change it.
I love it.
No, let's hear
I love it.
Let's
Where
hear
are
your
you?
best.
Me taking orders would be like, I just.
Let's hear your best Southern accent. Let's go. Can you
can't
try?
do it.
Come on. All right, Amy. Let's hear your best
I can't.
Bahamas
I
accent.
can't do that either. I do not want to embarrass
I'd be
myself
sick.
any more than I already have.
I trying to think of something. I can't even think.
Where's your wife?
Say, hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Y'all coming over?
Where
for
y'all
dinner?
going?
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good. Where y'all
Y'all.
going?
Where's your wife from?
Bahamas.
Bahamas.
Okay.
Yeah, we were together from high school.
No,
Did you go to high school with
sweethearts?
I know that's about as
No.
random as it gets.
Where Rihanna from Barbados.
Oh, that's right.
You didn't even have the right place.
See, Bahamas, Barbados.
Barbados, yeah.
See, I can embarrass myself very easily. I
Yeah.
don't need help with that.
Yeah.
No, I love his
Barbados.
music that he listens to.
Oh, what do you
Yeah.
listen to?
It's like reggae.
Reggae?
Yeah, it's like conscious music though.
Conscious reggae
Yeah, it's
music.
like conscious. It's like slow, positive reggae.
Oh. Does it have words?
Listen to it.
Or you
Does it have words?
Words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was helping Bill build a deck on his cabin. Bill's got this cabin on this amazing private lake, and so Levon was like, Daniel, anytime you guys you do anything physical, let me know.
Yeah.
And so I called him up and said, hey, you want to learn to build a deck? And he
I'm
said,
always
yeah.
willing to learn something.
And
Oh, good. That's
so
great.
he came out and we did some construction together. We did a really cool 11-minute video that we put on Facebook.
Oh
I think
boy.
it's
Is it
still
on your
floating.
page or hit both
It's
pages?
still floating
I shared
around.
it.
It's still floating around out
I'm gonna
there.
have to scroll back and find that one too.
Yeah.
I think I made
You
a
got some
comment.
reggae in you?
Well,
I
had,
some
we had
reggae.
music playing. We had
Yeah.
reggae music playing, and it was what
We
do you
like
call
it.
You call it Bahamian?
We got Bahamian music.
And I
but they
called
also
it.
they got
I came up
reggae.
with a new word. It was because you said it was a combination of Bahamian and Jamaican.
What's
And
Jamaican?
I don't know,
No, you got-
Jamaican. So
Nah, reggae stems from Jamaica, so
Okay.
you know, so we don't claim reggae.
okay,
Okay.
all right.
So mostly Jamaican.
Bohemian.
But
Yeah.
we have our own culture, which is Jonkanu.
Say it again?
Break and scrape. That's what we do. It's not as popular around the world, but Jonkanu is like drums. They use the
Okay.
drums and stuff like that, and they use the trumpet and different things like that. It's
Are you
cool.
musical too? Can you play the drums or anything like that? Of
He
course.
can do everything.
Beat the drums.
he is
Did I ever show you how to
Superman.
drum? Yeah, I'll show you how to.
Yeah, see, another thing. Okay, we're going to have you back. You can bring the metal and you play the drums.
Yeah,
That'd be
I'll
good.
show you
Daniel
how
can
to
dance.
drum. Yeah.
Well,
Learn everything. I
Yeah.
try. I try my best.
that's
Yeah.
good. Never stop learning.
One of the
anything.
shots, one of the videos I did was, I think you were pulling out some old nails, and I made a comment, see if he can, hammer as good as he can jump.
And did he? Did he
did.
hammer as
He
well?
did.
Oh, I have to see that. That's
Yeah.
gonna be good.
And we were
Yeah.
joking about him, I asked him, I said, can you train me to jump? And he said he could. And I
Yeah.
said, can I go into the Olympics? And he just looked at me, he said, with confidence, yes, of course. And he said, Special Olympics.
That was good.
Sounds about right.
So
Sounds about
it
right.
was fun, so you can check it out.
I will
Now,
have
he's
to check it out.
6'3" and you're
5'8",
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I stand tall.
Oh,
Do I have any hope for anything in my future?
You do. I saw it. I saw it in the video.
I can stand on my head, actually.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
good at
I
all
am-
the
I am-
yoga stuff.
I do yoga, so I can actually stand on my head
Well, you're pretty strong.
pretty gracefully.
Yeah.
I can do arm
Have
balances
you done that
and
on
stuff.
camera?
Of
Yeah.
course.
What?
I can do it on a kayak. Yeah.
That's impressive.
All different little places. Yeah.
I need to see that.
Yeah. It's
Maybe you could do it on a
just
kayak.
crazy.
In the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas, yes.
Let's
I
do
want
that.
to come.
I know.
I can't do
I
anything like
Maybe
that.
we should do a show
Take
in
me
the
with you.
Bahamas. Take the podcast to Bahamas.
There we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, can we?
Well, I'm glad to have you here. Is there anything else you need to peg him with before you?
We've heard quite a
You-
story
oh,
today.
you want-
we
Thanks
could
for.
probably if we
I
start
want
up with-
everybody to end I want everybody to get from this that to basically never give up,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
you're
Look
capable.
at the back of your shirt.
What's it say? I can't. Hold on.
What does it say?
Zero excuses.
Zero
Only results.
I agree.
Results.
I agree with that.
so-
Yeah,
I'm
just-
pretty competitive as well. Amy will tell you that. I'm definitely competitive with business.
Oh,
and
she's
just-
always got a plan.
I've got a plan
And she'll
all the time.
reveal parts of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She ain't gonna reveal all of her plan. We'll never know exactly what she's doing.
I'm very competitive with myself, not necessarily others as much as myself. And that
Yeah.
comes, I do think a lot of it does stem from how you're raised, because my parents are both competitive. Just, you get that.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's
very driven.
Definitely
So,
me too.
yeah. But the main thing, too, is don't give up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
push-
You know,
just keep on.
I said this week we were talking, and it's push through the pain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Push through the pain because we all have pain.
Yeah.
Everybody's got pain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those of you guys listening, you may be going through something really hard right now. And I remember Levon telling me the time he was sweeping his deck at Snowbiz and almost got arrested because he was a black guy sweeping, and they thought he was stealing. So again, on top
Stealing
of,
the broom? I don't know.
Stealing
I mean,
Snowbiz?
Man, they came out the car and they was like, "What are y'all doing?" I was like, "What you mean?"
Like, this is my place.
right. So it's not just the
Yeah.
it's not just the physical, it's not just the media, it's so but
All
again,
kinds of
we
things.
all have pain in our life that wants
Mm-hmm.
we want to stay in one place and not grow. And
That's
and
a
from
good
what I like to take away is push through the pain, whatever you're currently going through. Use somebody like Levon as
Yep.
a mentor. Even if you don't know him, you can't sit next to him, you still use that story. You can use a story to grow and to push through and accomplish the things that you want to accomplish.
Yep.
And they can always call
Quite an
you,
amazing
too.
story.
That's right.
And they can always call. Yes.
Yes.
You guys met for a reason. I mean, do
Definitely.
you guys definitely
And
believe
he-
that?
he
I can see the
always
way you
puts
bounce
me
off
on-
each other.
Yep. He always puts me on shows and stuff like that. And the last
And you're like,
thing we did, he said, "Hey, I signed you up to model." I said, "What?"
To model.
what is it called?
Wine, Women, and Shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you had to do that.
Did you do
Or
it?
you already did it. Oh, that's great.
I did it. Yeah. So he signed me up. I said, "What is that?"
Oh, he's just like your little puppet, huh? He's like, I signed you up for this. I signed you up for that.
And then he would tell everybody, "You know who this is?"
No, I love that.
No.
Well, we're happy to know you.
I think
Yeah.
you know, reaching a level like you've reached. You know, I know a lot of people get into ego.
Yeah.
You do need to be known for what you accomplished because again, it inspires. It inspires, and we have a world of hurting people that need to be
We
inspired.
sure do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Inspired.
Sometimes it just
positively.
takes one person, and you know, if you're mentoring some of these kids that are coming to you, I mean, just changing one of their lives would, I mean, how amazing that would be.
One
Yeah,
person,
that's
one
true.
story. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
I
amazing.
always say
And
humbleness
because
is
they're going to
key.
continue
Yep.
doing the same thing, hopefully, too. You change one person, they're going to help change somebody.
Yeah.
That's great.
You know, when I was growing up, I always said that no matter what accomplishment I get, I would always remain humble.
That's good.
So that was one of my like a lot of times I go home and you know with my high school friends, they would think I'm supposed to be a different way. But then they
Changed.
realize,
Right.
they think I'm supposed to be a changed person. But then when we sit down and talk and laugh, it'd be the same. I'm the same Levon
That's
from high
good.
school.
That's great.
And so that's what they respect a lot about me, you know. And I just told myself I'd never change, you
That's
know,
good.
no matter what.
That's good because I think it does go to a lot of people's heads, and then they change for the worse.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Ego.
Egos can be get you in
Ego
trouble.
Ego will hurt you for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you being here, and
This was a lot
you
of fun.
too,
Thanks
my
for
lovely
coming back.
Daniel
Thanks
Ross.
for having me.
Yes.
We'll be
Sounds
rooting
fun.
for you and watching you, and I'm excited. This is exciting for me. I graduated from Auburn in 05 too. I don't know if.
Oh, for real?
Like, yeah. I don't know where were you? What
You were
business?
probably
I was-
running
I
to
was
the
in
bars.
education.
That's
You're in
what you were
education.
doing. You were running to the bar.
So I used to.
I hold records. Getting there.
How
Yeah.
fast can I get to Sky Bar? Was that Sky Bar back then? I don't know.
No, it was
a
the blue
different
room.
name. Yeah, the blue room. Yeah, it used to be the blue room.
You couldn't go out on the roof. It had a roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at business school, so I guess
Oh,
we would
okay.
have run into each other there.
I sure
You were in
did, 'cause I was-
teaching?
I was-
Did you
I was
graduate in teaching? Did you
No,
graduate?
education.
Education, yeah.
Yeah, so I
See,
was in-
hear that,
I was
Wells?
in-
Education.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Is that what Wells is doing?
We're working on it.
Oh,
we
he's
have some,
trying
we
to
have
decide.
different things going on with him right now. So
Okay.
yeah, we're getting there. 20
Yeah.
years old. He's still young.
He's a young
He's
boy.
got he's
Yeah.
got lots going on. You got time. All right, well, we'll wrap it up and
Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you very much.
Anytime.
Sands Pro. Mine doesn't
Sands
say
Pro Apparel.
it. Sands Pro Apparel or Athletics.com.
Yeah, so the Science Pro Athletics
Ex-
Club is
the
the
training,
club,
okay.
and then Science Pro Apparel is just my
Your own
apparel.
clothing line. Get you
Yeah.
some bling.
So
I love it.
I know. I do
And we'll
too.
put your website on, and you still have a website. You got to
Yes.
stick it back up
Yes.
there too,
the one that was like you were like
because
I
you're
kinda-
special. You're
I have a website as of an hour ago. It had come to life all in 24 hours, I
Yes.
think.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, this was fun. I enjoyed it.
Thank you very much for
so
being
much
here with
coming.
us.
no problem.
You guys, peace out. Happy weekend. Happy Father's Day weekend.
Yep.
And
To all the fathers.
yeah, to all you awesome fathers out there.
Yep.